You know that feeling, right? You're chasing that next big thing, the promotion, the new venture, that breakthrough you've been working for. And you tell yourself, I'm ready. But what if there's a huge difference between feeling ready and actually being ready? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down right now. Does this hit close to home? I mean, you're putting in the hours, you're doing the work, but there's this little voice in the back of your head whispering, am I really prepared for this? That feeling is super common. And honestly, it's a sign that we need to look a little deeper than just the excitement and the hype. And that leads us to the absolute core question of this whole explainer. This is the distinction that can separate actually achieving your goals from just, well, dreaming about them. Are you running on emotion, or are you operating from a place of real, tangible preparedness? Let's look at it like this. Feeling ready is kind of like a firework. It's this big, exciting flash of emotion, usually tied to one single event. It's awesome, but it's brief. But being ready, now that's a bonfire. It's a deep, holistic state you've built on a solid foundation of your mindset and your skills. It's built to last. You know, it's so easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success is just about working yourself to the bone or, waiting for that one lucky break. But those things, they're just ingredients in the recipe. They're not the whole meal. Real readiness is so much more comprehensive than that. So, where do we even begin? Well, we have to start with the foundation. This is what we call your inner game. It's the internal framework that supports everything, and I mean everything, you build in the real world. If this isn't strong, the whole structure can come tumbling down. First up, the growth mindset. This is simply the core belief that your talents and abilities aren't set in stone. They can be developed. So think about it for a second. Do you truly believe that? Or do you sometimes catch yourself thinking, I'm just not a numbers person, or I'm not good at that? That's what we're talking about. Okay, next up is resilience. And look, resilience is not about never getting knocked down. It's all about how quickly you get back up. So when you face a setback, is that the end of the road, or is it just data for your next attempt? How do you keep your cool when the pressure is really on? And to round out this whole inner game thing, we have to talk about emotional intelligence. Because let's be real, success doesn't happen in a vacuum. You're dealing with people. Can you manage your own stress and excitement? Can you read a room and understand why people are reacting the way they are? This is vital stuff. All right, so once that inner game is getting solid, it is time to build your outer game. This is your real-world toolkit. These are the tangible skills and the concrete strategies that turn all that internal readiness into actual external results. And this part starts with a serious dose of honesty, a skill gap analysis. It sounds fancy, but it's simple. You just look at where you want to go, and then you take a hard, critical look at the skills you have right now versus the skills you need to get there. What's the gap? What do you need to learn or get better at, like, today? Now let's contrast two approaches here. On one hand, you've got this vague ambition, something like, I want to be successful. That's not a plan, that's a wish. It has no clear steps. On the other hand, you have an actionable roadmap. That's a real plan, with concrete milestones you can check off. So which one of these sounds more like your current approach? And here's a huge one. You can't do this alone. Nobody can. So who's in your corner? Who's in your success ecosystem? We're talking about mentors who've walked the path, collaborators you can build with, and those crucial accountability partners who keep you on track when your motivation starts to fade. Okay, we've talked inner game, we've talked outer game. Now it's time for the toughest part, the reality check. And I want you to think of this as the price of admission for achieving anything truly meaningful. This is really where the rubber meets the road. Being truly ready means you understand and you accept the cost. So you have to be honest with yourself. Are you really, truly willing to sacrifice huge chunks of your free time, to step way outside your comfort zone, to say no to that instant gratification for a much bigger reward down the line? And that's exactly why this marathon mindset is so critical. Trying to sprint toward a huge goal, it's just not sustainable. It leads to burnout, to cutting corners. But the marathon, that embraces the long game. It's about smart, sustained effort over a long, long time. True readiness is about having the endurance for the whole race, not just the first 100 meters. And the final piece of this reality check is this. The world is not going to stand still for you. And that means you can't stand still either. Being truly ready means you are a lifelong student. You're committed to constantly learning and sometimes unlearning and always adapting. It's just not optional. So, we've diagnosed the difference between just feeling ready and truly being ready. Now what? Well, now we turn this knowledge into your personal action plan. It's time to chart your very next move. Okay, I want you to take a second right now and just reflect. Of the three big areas we covered, mastering your inner game, building your outer game, or facing that reality check, which one really jumped out at you? Where is your single biggest opportunity for growth? Come on, pick one. Okay, got your area? Good. Now, here are your first three incredibly simple steps. First, acknowledge the specific gap. Don't just say inner game. Say, I need to get better at bouncing back from a setback. Second, identify one single resource, a book, an article, person you can talk to. And third, and this is the most important step, schedule just 30 minutes in your calendar this week to work on it. That's it. That is how you begin. Because here's the ultimate takeaway from all of this. True readiness, it isn't some destination you arrive at or a box you check off. It is a dynamic, ongoing process of growth and adaptation. It's a journey. So the only real question left is, are you ready to begin?